Hello class, I'm Mac Hutton and I did my ethnographic interview with 7 young people from the country of India. They're graduate students from Virginia Commonwealth University, which is a college just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Once done, their plan is to return to their home country of India. Their education here will help make them more competitive in the job market back home. And I met all 7 at a dinner with a mutual friend of ours. A friend from our home church has a real heart for the people of India, and their recommendation was to introduce me to these 7 friends of theirs, and from there a wonderful conversation followed. The conversation was very lively and very spirited from the start. They were very eager to share, and they shared openly and freely from the start. So what I want to do in the next couple of minutes is just to highlight 5 things that I learned from my conversation with these Indian friends. First of all, within family life, the practice of arranged marriage still exists, but it's more really suggested than it is forced. Someone else mentioned in their interview that arranged marriage no longer existed, but with my Indian friends, they still spoke of it. The parents had a stronger influence on who their kids married than what we see here in America. Among the 7 students, there were 2 sets of married couples, and the rest were single. And though the circumstances varied some, both couples considered their marriage to be arranged ones through their parents. But at the same time, each said that they had veto power if they were not happy with their prospective spouse. Everyone in the group of 7, both married and single, agreed that no parent would force their child to marry against the child's will. The group shared stories where young men and young women try and convince their families that they would want to marry someone else, and these marriages usually happened with or without the consent of the parents. Secondly, socially, education is at the top, the number 1 priority. Education is valued everywhere in India, and nearly everyone is educated. Sports and entertainment, things like that Americans value are not even a close second in India. Especially in the cities, it is very rare to come across an uneducated person in the cities. This situation is rare because education is so cheap in India. Nearly everyone has access to education. The public universities are very good, very cheap, but also very difficult to get into. Because of this competitiveness, group members told me that parents have to position their kids at a very young age so they'll be able to get into these preferred universities. Because there are 1.4 billion people in India, the number of seats in the elite colleges is very limited. And then coming to the U.S. after college graduation is a very common phenomena because of educational scholarships offered by schools like VCU. Thirdly, religiously, to be Indian is to be Hindu is not true. The 7 students said no emphatically. They pointed to the fact that India is home to the 2nd largest Muslim population in the world, so there are many religions there. It surprised me some to learn that people in India never ask what religion someone is. The group said you can tell someone's religion by their name and that most people don't really have an interest anyway. According to the group, one's religion is not that big a deal in daily life. People are born into their religion, so you really don't have a choice. Yet, said one group member, you can change religions later if you like. 2 of the students don't follow a religion, and their families don't let them, shun them or frown on their choice. One student said that older people used to scare us into being God-fearing, but that's not the case anymore. In a sense, their religion, at least from these students' perspectives, is more social than religious. Fourthly, economically, a very large sales tax helps pay for the free services in India. Free healthcare is something India is known for, and I wondered how all of these free services are paid for. They said the 4 wealthiest percent in society help pay for this through income taxes, and everyone helps underwrite these services through very, very high sales taxes. One student estimated sales taxes being as high as 25% in some localities. And then fifth, politically, the government is democratic, but more socialistic than capitalistic. When asked to describe the government and political structure of India, the word corrupt was the one word that most in the group felt best described it. Yet elections are strict and they're fair, and the elected commission has ultimate power. So it's democratic in the sense that people have power to elect, but it's socialistic in the sense that people lean on the government for services that capitalistic societies provide. The Constitution, they said, is very important, and government jobs, they said, are considered the elite ones. We spent so much time on other areas that unfortunately we really weren't able to dig real deep into politics. But it was a joy meeting these new Indian friends, and I hope these highlights have helped encourage you and help educate you as well. So thanks for listening, and have a great holiday season.